Don't explore religion. Explore yourself. And then religion will come to you by itself. Is there religion in the scriptures? It is not there. The scriptures are dead, but religion is alive. So how can it rely on the scriptures? Is there religion in religious organizations? No, it is not even in sects. Organized religion depends on a contract, and religion is a purely personal matter. Having accepted it, it is not necessary to go to the outside world. You have to go inside yourself. Religion exists in every breath. We just lack the vision to recognize it. Religion exists in every drop of blood, but we lack the courage and determination to find it. Religion is everywhere, like the sun, but you have to open your eyes. Religion is life, but you have to rise above bodily frailty. Religion is not dead, so don't sleep. Wake up and move. He who sleeps will miss it. He who keeps moving will find it. The awakened will find it. One king was in search of the greatest religion in the world. He lived to a ripe old age, but he kept on searching. Is it possible to complete such a quest? Life is short, and such a quest is folly. And even if life were infinite, the best religion would still not be found, because religion is really just religion, that's all. And since that is so, what can be higher or lower, better or worse? There are many religions in the world, and the search for the greatest of them will prove fruitless. Where there is no plurality but one thing, there is nothing to compare or weigh, and there is no way of doing so. That king was looking for the highest religion, but he himself remained in the lowest position. He was a godless man. And since he could not find the true religion, the question of whether he was living as a believer did not concern him. Does not this path lead to darkness and ignorance? No one asks such questions about atheism, but it is hard for those who do not ask them about religion. No one thinks of researching atheism, yet it lives. But it is not atheism that is being researched, but religion. Often these so-called spiritual quests are simply a way of living a totally unrighteous life, of avoiding the religious way of life. No one told the king this. Theologians, saints, and philosophers of all kinds used to visit him. They argued with each other, denounced each other's errors. One tried to prove the other ignorant. The king was pleased. In his eyes, religion was an illusion, a collection of delusions, and he found justification for his way of life. It was very difficult to convert the king because those who coincided with him were not pious themselves. Communities, sects, and religious organizations always promote their own point of view. They do not need to deal with religion, nor are they capable of doing so. Only someone who does not take sides can be a religious person. It is difficult to become one without rejecting all points of view. Sects are the main enemies of religiosity and friends to its main opponents. The king did not give up his quest. It became a kind of game to him. But in the end, these religious disputes began to hurt, disturb, and torment him. His death was approaching, his life was coming to an end, and his soul was troubled. But he was still not ready to accept any religion except the best, the absolutely true, the perfect one. The king was adamant and decided for himself that until he was convinced that there was a perfect religion, he would not take a step in its direction. Year after year passed, and he became more and more entangled in the mire. Death was already at the door. One day, a young beggar came to his gate and asked for alms. Finding the king anxious, despondent, and distraught, he asked what was wrong. "How can you help me even if I explain?" replied the king. The best theologians, saints, and traveling monks were unable to help me. Or perhaps it was their greatness that prevented them. It happens that even theologians cannot do something. And are saints and monks, whose only difference is their clothes, the most important people? Said the beggar. The king looked at the tramp carefully, looked into his eyes. They were not the eyes of a beggar. Only a king could have such a look. Meanwhile, the tramp spoke again. "I can't do anything. I don't really exist. But he who exists can do many things. His words were truly marvelous. This beggar was so different from all those who had previously tried to change the king's mind. "Who is this man in beggar's garb?" thought the king, but said aloud, "I wanted to find the best religion and live a righteous life, but it turned out to be impossible. And now I am unhappy because my life is coming to an end. Which religion is the best?" The tramp laughed out loud. "Oh, the king," he said, "you wanted to put the cart before the horse. That is why you are unhappy. One does not begin to live righteously after finding religion. One does not find religion until life itself becomes righteous. And what madness made you seek out the best religion? It's enough just to seek religion. There is only one religion. What is the best religion? I've never heard of such a thing. It's just nonsense. There is no need to test religion for suitability. There is a complete circle. And there are no things like that circle, for if something is not a complete circle, it is simply not a circle. That is all. The completeness of the circle is the essence of its being. And the essence of being a religion is truth in its unbiasedness and impeccability. And those who have come to you to show you the best religion are either madmen like you or hypocrites. He who is truly knowledgeable knows only one religion. The king, deeply moved, touched the tramp's feet. "Be kind enough to leave my feet alone," said the man. "Don't restrict their freedom. I have come here to free your feet. Please, let us go to the other side of the river, beyond the border of your kingdom. There I can show you religion." They traveled together to the riverbank. The best boats were brought to them, but the tramp began to point out the flaws in each one in turn. Finally, the king became desperate. "Oh, great soul," he turned to the tramp. "All we have to do is cross a small river. We can even do it by swimming. Let's forget the boats and swim across by ourselves. Why waste time?" It was as if the tramp had been waiting for this. "O king," he answered, "I wanted to tell you the same thing. Why are we so focused on boats that belong to different religious sects? Wouldn't it be better to go to God by swimming? In reality, these boats have nothing to do with religion. They belong to the boatmen. The only right way for us is by swimming. Truth can only be attained through our own efforts. No one will provide it for us. Everyone must sail the sea of truth on his own. There can be no outside support. He who seeks help will drown at the shore, but he who dares to swim on his own will be able to swim across the sea, even if at first he is overwhelmed by the water."